Synthetic division. Let's say that we're given this problem where they ask us to use synthetic divisions to divide 7x raised to the third power minus 6x squared plus 5 by x minus 3. In order to use the synthetic division, you have to make sure this factor right here, x minus 3, the x is the first power. Like it doesn't raise to the second power or any power, just the first power. When it's raised to the first power, then that means you can use the synthetic division. If it's raised to a second power and so on, you cannot use the synthetic division. You have to use the long division. But since the given right here is raised to the first power, so it indicates that you can use the synthetic division. So to solve this problem by using the synthetic division, the first thing you need to do is to write down this L shape right here, horizontal line, a vertical line and a horizontal line. And as for this row right here, copy the same thing as the given. So right here is 7x to the third, right? So you write down 7 to represent x to the third. You don't need to write down the variable, which is the x. And then you write the second term, which is negative 6. So you write down negative 6 right here. And notice that there's no third term right here. It's supposed to be an x right here, another x. But since the given did not write it down, so you need to assume it is there by writing a 0 on a table right here. If there's an x right here, then you just write the number that's in front of the x. If they write like plus 2x, then you write 2. If they write negative 2x, then you write negative 2. But since this given problem doesn't give us any variable right here, so you need to write a 0 to represent one of the variable right here. So it will be 7, negative 6, 0, and the last number is 5. Once you copy the given expression, in front of this vertical line, you write down the 3 to represent this expression right here. So you bring down the 7. You always bring down the first number that is here. So you take 7 times 3, which is 21, and you write it next to it right here. 21 minus 6 is 15. So 15 times 3 is 45. 45 plus 0 is 45. 45 times 3 is 135. 135 plus 5 is 140. So this is the final step for the synthetic division, but you have to write it in answer form. So to write it as an answer, you have to write it like this. The original given expression right here equals to 7x squared. Why is it an x squared? Because at all this row right here, the term will go down. So you need to write it as a descending order. From the given, it was 7x3. But when you solve for it, it has to be decreased in 1 degree. So it'll be 7x squared plus 15x plus 45, and then plus 140 divided by the original expression, x minus 3. This 140 is the remainder of this given synthetic division. So once you have all this, there's another form to write this this whole expression right here. You could write it like this: the given original expression equals to 7x squared plus 15x plus 45 times x minus 3 plus 140. So if you were to do this multiplication out, if you take this first expression and then you times it by x minus 3, you will get, let's see, the first one right here is negative 3 times 45, which is negative 135. And then negative 3 times 15x, which is negative 45x. Negative 3 times 7x squared is negative 21x squared. And then as for the x right here, you go down 1. So 45 times x is positive 45x. 15x times x is 15x squared. So you do all this multiplication algebra, and you will get this answer right here. And then when you solve for this, you will get 7x to the third minus 6x squared plus 5, which is the same as the original given expression.